Hi, good morning to you. Today we're at one of the most popular places outside of the theme parks here on International Drive. We'll start with an overview looking up to the north. The I-4 is on the left, WonderWorks to the right, and right in the middle are two of its recent attractions, formerly the Orlando Eye, and just to the left the world's tallest starflyer, which we'll take a look at very shortly. Without going too far north, I'm going to start right here by the Sheraton 4 Points Hotel, and it was once known as the Universal Towers. At this point in time, the Universal Resort is still expanding with the development of new hotels. This large white block is where the Wet n Wild car park used to be, and looking further down there are several more under construction. And here's another lot on the exact same spot where the Wet n Wild water park once stood, but with the arrival of the newly built Volcano water park just along the way, it's now become an advanced replacement. There is another water park, Aquatica, further down, which is owned by Seaworld, and that's been there for a few years now. And then there's this hotel, which can be seen from International Drive, but heading more onto the Volcano Bay area. Universal are the largest competitor to Disney out here, and have been expanding profusely for the past few years. They say this is the world's highest starflyer, right here next to the Icon 360 area, and it certainly stands out in the strip both day and night, and is classed as a thrill ride, taking passengers up to 400 feet while spinning. It is a chaeroplane concept, and the only exception is the extreme height. You can see another view here taken from the giant wheel Icon 360, and in both of these attractions, as you can see, you'll certainly get stunning views of Orlando surrounding you. There's a couple of little land trains that's been added. This is one huge wheel, and it actually looks much bigger than it does when you've filmed it or photographed it. I didn't realise quite until I came back and stood close to it. And just like the Starflyer, you get some really impressive views all round, but at a more relaxed pace. The wheel takes approximately 30 minutes to do a complete rotation. It's the 7th largest Ferris wheel now in the world at 400 feet, whereas the London Eye stands at just over 440 feet, coming in at the 4th highest in the world. But initially, when that one first opened in 2000, it was the world's tallest. The tallest now stands in the heart of Las Vegas at a height of 550 feet. That was constructed in 2014. Right in front here is the Pirates Adventure Golf. They'll go to town and all the theming here. and there are several other golf courses along the strip. You'll find plenty of these I-Ride trolleys running, not just for International Drive but also for areas like Universal Boulevard as well. The Embassy Suites, it's just one of the many motels about. The south side has lots of little paths surrounded by grass and trees and shrubs, more so than at the north side. There's a multitude of restaurants along here. This is one that you'll find all over the US, the famous Denny's Diner. Bahama Breeze Island Grill, which comes into its own after dark with all the live music and all the outdoor lighting. Walgreens is also a familiar shop you'll find all over the USA, with several of them dotted along the I-Drive. It's a 24-hour pharmacy, come general food store, and it also sells gifts as well, and the prices seem reasonable. There's also a CVS pharmacy, which is pretty similar, and it's worth checking out. Now here's something that will make you look twice. It's called WonderWorks, which is a walk-around attraction for the family with over 100 exhibits. Some are hands-on. It's a great place to come if you want to break from all the main theme parks and attractions. And there's a story behind it that goes like this. There was once this top secret laboratory located in the Bermuda Triangle where some weird experiment went completely wrong, and it lifted the whole of the building and it went flying over Orlando in Florida, International Drive. Well, it eventually landed upside down onto another building that you see right here. Now it's full of hands-on attractions with 6 zones, including natural disasters, physical challenge, zone light and sound zone, space discovery, imagination lab, and the far out gallery. That hotel over the road used to be called the Clarion Plaza. It's now the Rosen Plaza. All these lovely little walkways filled with varying plants and flowers. Well thought out landscaping. This is the edge of Point Orlando, which includes a mini mall full of restaurants and retail outlets, as well as a 20-screen cinema complex, and one of them is an IMAX. Now Harris Rosen is the owner of all these hotels and has about 9 properties in Orlando. He's a businessman from Manhattan and founded the Rosen Resorts way back in 1974. Just before that, he worked for the Disney Company as a director for hotel planning. Right in front here is the Hyatt Regency, another large hotel which we'll come back to a little bit later. And further down you can just see at the back there the Orlando Orange County Convention Center. This is the second largest convention centre in the USA, second to the McCormick Place in Chicago. I'm at the West Concourse, which once used to have an 11,000 seat or more entertainment arena, and that featured top performers which included Madonna, Tina Turner, Hall & Oates, Aerosmith, and that's just some of the top names that appeared here. It opened in 1983. Since then it's had a vast north and south extension, which is the other side of the road, and it has bridges connecting the two buildings together. The north-south concourse apparently has solar panels fitted into the roof, and it provides a fair amount of its power consumption. And that's all part of the building on the other side of the road, and that part was completed in 2003. Apparently it all covers, get this, 2,100,000 square feet. That's an awful lot of space. There's parking for well over 6,000 vehicles, 3 full-service restaurants, 8 food courts, ballrooms, and it has 74 meeting rooms and many more. And like a lot of areas along International Drive, it's well landscaped. The Hyatt Regency, it looks like one large building from here, doesn't it? But it's actually 2 separate buildings. The one on the left was the original, and formerly called the Peabody, with a giant duck on the side. It doesn't now, and that was very much significant, as they used to have real live ducks walk along this red carpet twice a day, and then taken to an elevator to a fountain on the roof. Now, a few years ago, the building was destined to be pulled down to make way for a larger hotel, but then it was decided to keep it as it is and add another building to complement it right next door, and have the whole lot under one name, which they've done now. Here's the Rosen Centre, and it's probably the flagship. Certainly the largest hotel. It used to be called the Omni Rosen and stands right opposite the north-south concourse, part of the convention centre. And it consists of 24 stories. There we go, the Rosen Centre with a slight fold in the middle. Here's another view of the Hyatt Regency. It's quite nice just walking around the gardens. It's often quite quiet here most of the time. Now you can see it is 2 buildings. All these trees and palm trees. It really does set it off, doesn't it? And yes, this is one of the connecting walkways. This is the one that crosses International Drive, as you can see. And most of these are moving walkways, which you'll find is a necessity, especially with the walking you find yourself doing. Here's another look at the Rosen Plaza Hotel, and it's right next door to the Rosen Plaza Inn, right next door, which used to be called the Quality Inn Plaza several years ago. This is just adjacent to International Drive, which is the I-4. That's the one to take for Walt Disney World. And just follow it right down there and you'll see enough signs to point you in the right direction. Right here in front is the Rosen Inn Plaza Hotel. Now with the I-4 on the left, and Universal Resort is just up the way there. Just to the right of the Orlando Eye is the Castle Hotel, and just to the left of the wheel, past the crane, you may just be able to see the Sheraton Hotel. And that's right where we started. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the tour along just part of International Drive. Please do check out my channel for several uploads from different areas of the same strip. Also check out the channel for surrounding theme parks, with many in 4K. Don't forget to subscribe so as you'll be right up to date with my latest uploads. This is Geoff Dean, and I'll see you all very soon on YouTube.